Testing 1 2 3 4. Testing 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 Miami Hurricanes. What's going on, everybody? Something new here. So we're live, in case you guys are just joining. NC State and Miami both were out here for pregame shoot-arounds. NC State winning first, Miami just went a little bit ago. They'll be in the, Miami's typically back in the locker room for about 15 minutes. Big game for Miami today. NC State's got an interesting team, a team that I've watched a couple times this season. Saw them play a tough game against KU. Really went down to the wire. I think the big thing for Miami in this one is the ball screens, how Miami will defend the ball screens. Pregame Smith is a very dynamic scorer for NC State. He can score off the dribble, create his own shots, similar to what you see with Isaiah Wong, but just Terquavian's got more range, and he will definitely step out, 3-5 feet behind the three-point line and attempt three-point shots. His percentage on the season isn't great, and that'll be something for Miami if they can have him take tough shots. That'll be the big thing. He's going to take his shots, but you got to make him tough. You can't let him get his feet set. They've got a couple other guards that I think have been very efficient. With Morcell, he's a guard shooting 50%. That doesn't happen very often, so definitely got to keep your eyes on him. As well, they've got a couple bigs. I think people are going to see DJ Burns come in off the bench. We've got Miami guys coming out here. Let me adjust the camera. Oh, never mind. DJ Burns off the bench, 6'9". I think he's listed at 6'9", 270. Lefty, he's got great skills. He's fun to watch, and Miami's going to have their hands full with him, with his size. But again, he comes off the bench. Any questions, comments, definitely drop below. I'll try to answer them. The music's definitely really loud in the arena, but I'll just go talk for a little bit, try to talk over it, and then maybe let you guys just hear the arena sound, scale it back. But just from a Miami standpoint, Isaiah Wong coming off the huge game, 36 points. That does not happen in college very often. A player hitting 30 points is a very hard feat. And I talked about Pregame Smith. He's coming off a 33-point game against Coffin State, one off his career high. So big game out of him. Isaiah was great to see. You know, he's really difficult for teams to stop when he gets in this role because, again, he can create his own shot. He can get to the rim. He's doing a great job of getting off these mid-range jumpers, these 10 to 15 footers, kind of all over the floor, where he can hit them from the baseline, or he might kind of try it kind of center court, kind of towards the free throw line or the elbow. He's just a very difficult player to keep in front of because of his ability to either get to the rim or just to get up for shots. He definitely knows how to get his shot off. And I think his three-point shot, we saw that too in the big game. For him to be able to hit that shot, I think it's very important for him to not just make a couple, but just continue to shoot them when he's open. I think what's great is 10 games in, he's leading the team in scoring. You know, you're not expecting 36 every night, obviously, but you're just expecting him to attack. And ACC play now is underway, kind of an interesting part of the schedule where they go. You have this 7-game stretch where they have a conference game, then non-conference, then back to conference. So they're just in this middle, kind of an odd stretch here. You know, I think everybody's kind of hoping Nigel Pack gets out of this little slump here. 8 points a game, under 30% shooting in the last 3 games. Obviously the potential's there. He's a guy that, with his shot, what he's done with his track record as a 3-point shooter is very impressive. And he only needs a couple to go in. I think right now, just if he can find ways to spot up from 3, kind of get in a good rhythm with his release point. I think sometimes he's just missing shots. And again, you're not expecting that all year. He's still adjusting. It happens. Transfers, high-level transfers coming into different programs. It happens all around the country, even with guys that had success. So just an adjustment period for him. Certainly they're going to need his scoring in the backcourt and definitely keep paying attention to how he defends on the ball and also how he distributes to his teammates. Again, not much going on in the court right now. See the TV cameras, they're getting ready to do their live shot, their pregame stuff before. You guys are just joining ACC Network Extra to find the game. Mike Jaminski's going to be on the call once again. He was here for the Cornell game. He was at practice yesterday. I happened to catch a little bit of practice, most of practice, so that was good to see. Again, how they defend ball screens. They did a nice rebounding drill. So the points of emphasis there. They actually did something you don't always see. I've not seen a lot at practices, but they definitely worked on taking charges and then diving for loose balls. You know, when they were diving for loose balls, they kind of set it up at the baseline, and they actually had like a pad for the players to half dive on it. And they were just doing it themselves. Somebody would roll the ball out and they would kind of move, maybe 10 feet. Corral the loose ball and get helped by the teammates. It definitely was much different than a drill I did in high school. I'll just explain how ridiculous this is. The coach would be on the baseline and there'd be 2 of us, 1 on each side on the lane, on the baseline. We'd be competing with our teammate. Coach would roll the ball past midcourt, the ball would go maybe 3/4 of the way down, and we had to run down and chase it and dive on the loose ball full throttle, full speed. The injuries and just getting banged up from that, it just was ridiculous. A ridiculous drill. I mean, I guess we got a few extra loose balls in our tally, but tough team or whatever, but you just don't see those kind of drills. And obviously at the college level, games and having players available is so important, so they're not going to do something ridiculous like that. But certainly Larranaga wants his team to be tougher. It felt like some loose balls went Cornell's way last game. I'm very curious to see how Miami's going to bounce back against Cornell. They got the win against Cornell, but defensively, a lot of metrics that they weren't real pleased with, obviously giving up over 100 points. Not good. You feel good offensively, everything they were able to do, and they got some big plays down the stretch. But defensively today, it'll be very interesting to see how they respond and get back to playing tighter on defense, their man-to-man stuff. If they're going to go into the scramble stuff, I know they feel like a little bit they've got the personnel. I think defensively, maybe pay attention to Quavon. If he's able to get going, they might try to double the ball a little bit, get the ball out of his hands. We talked about Isaiah Wong and Nigel Pack. I'm very curious to see how Bensley Joseph continues to progress, not necessarily knocking down shots. I think that's going to happen, but just his minutes, particularly late game minutes, if the game's close, we're starting to see him kind of get on the court more there in the second half, kind of essentially replacing Woogle Poplar depending on some matchups, how they're playing. But that's just a minutes thing to kind of watch for some five-man rotation stuff, particularly down the stretch. I still expect them to start Wooga. I don't think anything will change there at practice. There wasn't any indication of that. So just looking around the arena a little bit, the band is coming in here. Crowd is not a ton of people yet. For the football fans out there, something maybe to pay attention to is Dillard running back Christopher Johnson is on an official visit, and sometimes those guys, depending on the schedule, with their plans throughout a weekend, they might stop by the basketball game, so he might be here today. Again, I expect Miami to come back out here on the court in the near future. I appreciate everybody being here. It's obviously more exciting when they're out here. And then when they get out here, they'll go through their layup lines. You can see them do some impressive layups. Harlan Beverly dunks are always fun to watch. A couple notes from practice. A couple young guys that I noticed. Just with AJ Casey, again, his shot making ability is impressive. He did some nice things at practice. Just kind of continues to progress, and that's what I think you like with a young player. And also favor Are, not a guy getting a lot of minutes, but he's certainly a guy he brought a lot of energy at practice yesterday, so that's a good sign. I really like everything that I know about him in terms of his makeup. Got a chance to talk to him at Media Day before the season started, and just seems to have the right mindset. I know coaches, they're just continuing to bring these guys along. So again, other things to watch for today. I talked about the guards a lot. Certainly the post players, with, again, all eyes kind of on North Chad. They're just game in and game out, especially now that ACC play is starting. I know he's been excited to play ACC competition, and Miami did win their first ACC game against Louisville, who's absolutely terrible and really struggling right now, but it was good Miami put that game away. But I know now as the schedule gets going, Virginia's just around the corner later this month. I know North Chad's really excited about these matchups, and he's got his hands full today. They've got a transfer there. I touched on DJ Burns. Here we go. I'll let you guys watch this. Any comments, I'll jump in, but I'm going to turn the mic off for now. Let you guys watch them.
part of winning a championship is getting there. And when the Miami Hurricanes need to get their equipment to each game, they call Good Greek Moving and Storage. The Miami Hurricanes trust the Good Greek, and so should you. So more like a champ, and go to goodgreek.com. Good Greek Moving and Storage, the official movers of the Miami Hurricanes.
Growing up, like, always like in school, like my grandmother always spent the year, and I'd always watch the basketball games on TV. So like, honestly, it's always been my dream just to attend here. So right now, I'm a manager with the women's basketball team, and honestly, that's been a heck of an experience in itself. You can really get to know the other team and hang out with everybody. It's been amazing. Thank you for funding the scholarship program. Honestly, like without it, I don't think I'd be here. So I'm just like really blessed to be able to receive the Crack Future Scholarship. So thank you.
I always remind my team to be accountable for what they do. And now, I'm asking you to do the same thing. Enjoy your time with friends and family. Enjoy the game. But whatever you do, don't drink and drive. Drive solo or get pulled over.
My name is Jasmine. I'm the Director of Programming at the Teacher Accelerator Program. And here's how to land a guaranteed job as an educator. Enroll in Spring Forest Top I-90 at UM, get placed in a paid internship, pass your certification exams, and get hired. That's it. So seniors, do yourself a favor. Check out the Teacher Accelerator Program at UM today.
A freshman for every Hurricanes home game, Kroger Delivery will donate 250 meals to families in need. That's right, 250 meals donated. Now let's cheer on our Hurricanes, because together we're helping the fight against hunger. Miami, please welcome to today's game the one and only TJE.
to the 6, RP to 8, sweat it, it's getting 8. I'm on 10 for the game. Get a lot of love from 12, but I don't reciprocate. 51 division, stay controlling when it's late. 21 my Eddie, so the knife is on the gate. All the dogs eating off a bottle rock plate. See Drake and they underestimate. Take it from me.
Need something new for the basketball season? The Canes and Adidas have you covered. Visit the team shop up in the concourse and get the latest Canes basketball apparel from Adidas, or just visit shop.hurricanes.com for a wide selection of Hurricanes apparel. You can look just like the players courtesy of Adidas. The Big Cheese is an official sponsor of the University of Miami basketball. We serve pizza, pasta, subs, and salads. Come to the Big Cheese on US 1 and Southwest 67th Avenue, or call 305-662-6855, or go to BigCheeseMiami.com. If you're planning for retirement, then you want strategic wealth designers on your team. Our seasoned pros have the winning record to help you reach your retirement goals. Schedule your visit today at SWDgroup.com or call us at 1-877-SWD-GROUP. Canes fans, please welcome your favorite host, Brittany.
Chad, I always love the warm welcome back you give me. Welcome back to the Wasco Center, Canes fans. Happy holidays, and we are getting ready for some action right here against NC State and for Miami Hurricanes. The last time the Canes won was on the road, 107-105, and we're looking for another W tonight. Isaiah Wong went off 36 career high points, and today we're looking for the win again. Now, you all can get involved in today's game by some of the things that we got going on. Let's check out our game day rundown. You can expect a Sun Station holiday performance, halftime basketball scrimmage, half-court shot, rapid fire, a t-shirt toss, and our Hurricane as will perform. All of that and more coming up in today's game. So make sure you be in your seats for all the action. Let's go, Canes.
Listen every Miami Hurricanes game on the home of the Hurricanes basketball AM 560 Sports WQAM and streaming on the Odyssey app. From pregame to tip-off to postgame, AM 560 Sports WQAM has Hurricanes action all season long. The Miami Hurricanes hear the play on AM 560 Sports WQAM and streaming on the Odyssey app. The University of Miami Credit Union since 1947 is the preferred credit union of UM Athletics, delivering world-class member service for the past 75 years. Better banking done your way with University Credit Union. Tito's Homemade Vodka, the official vodka of Miami Hurricanes Athletics, is extending their Green Athletics campaign from football into basketball. Tito's is donating $25 per Hurricanes assist to Green Athletics as part of their sustainability efforts. Between football and basketball, we are already up to $8,500 donated so far. We appreciate Tito's efforts in supporting the Canes and Code Green. U Online is a proud partner of UM Athletics and offers top-ranked online graduate degrees and certificates in finance, sports administration, data analytics, and more. Visit us today at miami.edu/online to learn how an online degree or certificate from the University of Miami will take your career to the next level.
Going on, everybody? Just want to come back here. So again, I'm going to run this until we'll do the starting lineups, but again, as soon as the game starts, we'll cut this thing off. I want to appreciate everybody for being here. A few final things that I didn't mention earlier. So when I was at practice yesterday, Bensley Joseph was putting up shots about 3 hours before practice, going through a workout. And I've seen him do this before, so it's always great to see. And one of the things he was working on were some floaters and some dribble handoff type combination stuff, which is very common for any guard, but particularly point guard. So it was just good to see him kind of going through his workout, his routine. Again, it's always good for players to do that. And just kind of, again, the team's in the locker room right now. We're doing a little bit of work on the net here. Can't quite tell if there's an issue or if it's just one of the routine checks to make sure the rims and everything are in accordance to where they need to be. I'll zoom in so you guys can see. But it was just good seeing Bensley kind of go through it. And again, I touched on everything else kind of going on at practice. You know, one thing I want to make a note of with Jordan Miller, you know, Isaiah had the big game against Cornell, but Jordan had a big one as well, 20 points. In last year's game, Miami beat NC State. Jordan Miller had 25 points in that one, so he's definitely a player to watch to see if he can kind of continue with success against NC State. Much different team. The Wolfpack looked to be a much different team than a year ago. Much better defensively. Last year they were last in the ACC in points per game allowed. And I know Coach He's over there in the offseason, wanted to get some transfers, some veterans, get back to where they were defensively. NC State comes into the game with an 8-2 record. Last year, they didn't win their 8th game until the 15th game of the season at 8-7. Had a really tough stretch, won 11 games. Just not a good season for them. But they do present some challenges here. They didn't play great against Pittsburgh. That was one of the games I watched in addition to the KU game. They didn't hit the threes that they would like. Had a good percentage in that one.
USON is the official nutritional partner of the Hurricanes and prides itself on providing.
So it definitely looks like they're doing a little extra work on the rims there. I wonder if something came up that NC State noticed. Typically they don't do this much work. Sometimes they might just check it as a formality. But they're definitely doing some work here.
Miami Athletics does not tolerate any actions or language that disrupt our commitment to providing
the game clock at 8.5 minutes before the game starts.
Athletes, coaches, staff, and fans, we host at our events. If anyone experiences such issues,
they're getting the flags ready.
Contact the nearest UM staff member, usher, or police officer to assist them, and we will immediately address the situation. The University of Miami wants to remind all of our supporters and fans.
Not a big crowd yet. Maybe some more people are coming in.
ACC rules and regulations. As student athletes, we hold ourselves to a high
standard. Be good to see more fans in the arena. Miami last in the ACC in attendance last year. It's also one of the smaller venues, but their percent capacity isn't great either.
Please contact the University of Miami Athletics.
So we'll see if people kind of gather around this team as it moves forward. Miami comes in the game 9-1, the blowout victory against Louisville in their first ACC game.
Coaches and fans, we request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Hurricane athletic staff, student athletes, and fans oppose all forms of discrimination against individuals on the basis of sex, sexual orientation, or gender identity, race, ability, national origin, and religious beliefs. Discriminatory actions in this manner directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the site of competition. In addition, consumption of tobacco products is prohibited. Thank you for your cooperation and enjoy the game.
Now I've touched on NC State's guards. They're coming back out here. But NC State's guards are their leading guys. Their backcourt obviously led by Smith. But one guy to kind of keep in mind, maybe an X factor. I touched on the guys down low that can score some points, kind of give Miami trouble in the paint. But Jack Clark's an interesting player, a 6'8" guy that will step out and shoot threes. The percentages aren't necessarily great over his career, but he's just someone to pay attention to. With his size combination there, kind of an interesting player. One thing too, I touched on DJ Burns coming off the bench. But NC State does have some guys that can produce. I think that'll be something to watch for the bench production. It's good that Bensley Joseph is providing some production, some scoring off the bench for Miami. You know, Anthony Walker's got the potential. But it'll be something to pay attention to in this matchup. NC State likes to play a little bit more, kind of a deeper team. They can go 9-10 deep. But certainly kind of all eyes on the starting fives for both teams in this one. Miami's starting five officially is the same as it's been the first 10 games. Nigel Pack running the point, Isaiah Wong, Wiggle Poplar, Jordan Miller, Norchad O'Meara. NC State is starting Jarkel Joyner at the point, averaging 17 a game, making that transfer over to Quavion Smith, Casey Morsell. And I'll let you guys get to it. We'll do the starting lineups. Again, I'll cut this thing off at tip. I appreciate everybody for joining, jumping on here.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Watsco Center. Today's matchup features the visiting NC State Wolfpack and your Miami Hurricanes. We, the ACC, are committed to seeing each other as equals and treating each other with respect and dignity at all times, recognizing that our differences don't divide us, but they make us stronger. At this time, we ask those who are able to please rise and remove your caps for the singing of our national anthem. Please welcome the Frost Band of the Hour Choir.
And bright stars through the perilous fight, for the ramparts we march, we're so gallantly streaming, and the rockets crackling, the bombs bursting in air, they flew through the night, that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Time now to meet the starting lineup for the NC State Wolfpack, led by head coach Kevin Keese. At guard, a 6'4" sophomore from North Carolina, 0, Turquavian Smith. At guard, a 6'1" grad student from Mississippi, number 1, Darnell Joyner. At guard, a 6'8" grad student from Pennsylvania, number 5, Jack Clark. At guard, a 6'3" senior from Maryland, number 14, Casey Morsell. And at forward, a 6'9" grad student from South Carolina, number 30, TJ Burns. All right, Miami, are you ready? Hurricane fans, are you ready?
Jordan Miller wins it at the buzzer! Steps back, fires down!
How you got everybody lit piping up?
Benjamin three-pointer, in the air, good!
Counting the money up fast like I'm typing something. Like let me do it, I need millions for the media. Send a third, I send my computer. Know they hate how big I blew up. Got this shit for real, man. All I'm about to get in, about my blue ones. Make my favorite cars, my blue ones. Talk it, for real, I do this. Put my heart inside my face, I ain't gonna use it. I mean, 40 million last year, and got this up my wall. Got them ball and ain't gonna lose. Improving, I get money like I'm Jewish. I'm gonna be the one. She got all them braces on her arm, look like she need or something. She can do Chanel whenever she wants to, like a like they brief for one. Excuse my French, I'm sorry, mama. I've been lit for 5 summers. Everyone know how I'm coming. Really like that. 35, we got outside punching. Stop on war with us, I spend it for my last hustle.
Miami, get on your feet. Let's meet your Miami Hurricanes. At guard, a 6' sophomore from Indianapolis, Indiana, number 24, Nigel Pack. At guard, a 6'5" sophomore from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, number 55, Logan Poplar. At guard, a 6'7" sophomore from Nicaragua, number 15, Norte. At guard, a 6'7" senior from Middleburg, Virginia, number 11, Jordan Piscataway, New Jersey, number 2, InsideTheU. The head coach of your Miami Hurricanes is Chip Larrañaga.